Hello and welcome to today's episode, which deals with overview of marketing communications, its role, need and importance. It will make you all aware about the importance of marketing mix in the present business environment, the importance of information process, model learning and the consumer learning process. In addition to it, the script will enable to explain marketing communications mix and its environment. Culture, subculture, social class, reference group, motivation, perception, cognition, groups' impact on communication, diffusion, adoption process. I am Shivangi Anand and the subject expert of this episode is Dr. Seema Wali, teaching in Faculty of Management, Lucknow. Communication is one of the most important elements of the marketing. It consists of external communication, consists of market research questionnaires, office website, guarantees, company annual report and the presentation for investors. Internal communication can be the marketing materials, price list, product catalogs, sales presentations and management communications. Marketing communication usually contributes to the largest component of all communication of the company. Elements of marketing communication. Positioning. It is discussing the ins and outs and importance of claiming the most attractive position in your customer's mind. Marketing message. It provides the framework for planning marketing message throughout the technology adoption life cycle, that is TALC. Marketing to influencers and opinion leaders. This describes the process and methods to develop word-of-mouth marketing in the marketplace. Market communication in the early market. It helps to focus on how and why one should tailor the message for technology enthusiasts and visionaries. Market communication across the chasm and in the bowling alley. It readily explains the tactics that will help to cross the chasm. Marketing communication objectives. Marketing communication has two objectives: to create and sustain demand and preference for the product. Creating preference is often a longer-term effort which aims at using communication tools to help position the product or company in the minds of the target customer. To shorten the sales cycle. Shortening the sales cycle means assisting sales and channel partners in their efforts to identify, engage and deliver a customer. Marketing communication mix. Marketing is a broad business function that includes product research and development, merchandising and distribution processes and pricing, as well as communication or promotion. The communication mix refers to specific methods used to promote the company or its products to targeted customers. 5 elements of marketing mix. Advertising. Advertising includes all messages a business pays to deliver through a medium to reach our targeted audience. Since it involves the majority of paid messages, companies often allocate significant amounts of the marketing budget to the advertising function. While it can be costly, the advertiser has ultimate control over the message delivered, since it pays the television or radio station, print publication or website for placement. Personal selling. Personal selling is sometimes integrated with the direct marketing element. Distribution channel suppliers use salespeople to promote products for resale to trade buyers. Retail salespeople promote the value of goods and services to consumers in retail businesses. Selling is more emphasized by companies that sell higher-end products and services that require more assertive efforts to persuade customers to buy. Discounts and promotions. Sales promotion or discounts are similar to advertising in that they are often promoted through paid communication. Sales promotions actually involve offering a discounted price to a buyer. This may include coupons, percent off deals and rebates. Along with ads to promote deals and coupon mailers, companies use exterior signs and in-store signage to call customer attention to the discounts. Public relations. Public relations is sometimes somewhat similar to advertising in that much of it involves messages communicated through mass media. The major difference is that one doesn't pay for the time or space for the message. A television or newspaper feature story mentioning a business, for instance, isn't paid for and can provide brand exposure. Direct marketing. Direct marketing includes some aspects of both sales promotions and personal selling. It is interactive communication with customers where the company's message seeks or implores a response from targeted customers. Email, online or print surveys, infomercials and direct mail are common formats. These messages are sent to customers with special offers or calls to action, often promoting limited time deals or new product launches. Event sponsorship. Event sponsorship is the element sometimes left out of the 5-element communication mix. Many models include it within advertising. Event sponsorship occurs when the company pays to have a presence at a sports, entertainment, non-profit or community events. The sponsorship may include a mix of benefits including booth representation during the event to hand out samples, gifts and literature. Name mentioned during the event and ad spots connected to the event. The marketing, communications or promotional mix. The elements of the marketing communications mix. The marketing communications mix is the specific mix of advertising, personal selling, sales promotion, public relations and direct marketing a company uses to pursue its advertising and marketing objectives. Setting the promotion mix. Here are some things to keep in mind. Advertising reaches large, geographically dispersed audiences, often with high frequency, low cost per exposure, though overall costs are high. Consumers perceive advertised goods as more legitimate, dramatize company or brand, builds brand image, may stimulate short-term sales, impersonal, one-way communication, expensive. Personal selling, most effective tool for building buyers' preferences, convictions and actions. Personal interaction allows for feedback and adjustments. Relationship-oriented, buyers are more attentive, sales force represents a long-term commitment and it is most expensive of the promotional tools. Sale promotion may be targeted at the trade or ultimate consumer, makes use of a variety of formats, premiums, coupons, contests, etc. Attracts attention, offers strong purchase incentives, dramatizes offers, boosts sagging sales, stimulates quick response, short-lived. Public relations, highly credible, very believable, many forms, news stories, news features, events and sponsorships, etc. reaches many prospects missed via other forms of promotion, dramatizes company or product. Often the most underused element in the promotional mix, relatively inexpensive. Direct marketing. Many forms: telephone marketing, direct mail, online marketing, etc. 4 distinctive characteristics: non-public, immediate, customized, interactive, well suited to highly targeted marketing efforts. Here are some general guidelines as to how and when to emphasize different parts of the mix according to the stages of a typical product life cycle. Product life cycle: pre-introduction. Light advertising, pre-introduction publicity. Introduction: heavy use of advertising, public relations for awareness, sales promotion for trial. Growth: advertising, public relations, branding and brand marketing, personal selling for distribution. Maturity: advertising decreases, sales promotion, personal selling, reminder and persuasion. Decline: advertising and public relations decrease, limited sales promotion, personal selling for distribution. Marketing communications mix and its environment. Culture, subculture, social class, reference group motivation, perception, cognition, information process model learning, and the consumer learning process. Marketing communications is a subset of the overall subject area known as marketing. Marketing has a marketing mix that is made of price, place, promotion, product, 4 P's that includes people, processes and physical evidence, when marketing services 7 P's. Integrated marketing communications see the elements of the communications mix integrated into a coherent whole. This is known as the marketing communications mix and forms the basis of a marketing communications campaign. Marketing communications is promotion from the marketing mix. Consumer learning. Consumer learning is the process by which individuals acquire the purchase and consumption knowledge and experience they apply to future related behavior. Most of the learning is incidental. Some of it is intentional. Basic elements that contribute to an understanding of learning are motivation, cues, response, reinforcement. There are 2 theories on how individuals learn: behavioral theory and cognitive theory. Major behavioral learning theories are classical conditioning, includes repetition, stimulus generalization and stimulus discrimination. Instrumental conditioning. Instrumental learning theorists believe that learning occurs through a trial and error process in which the positive outcomes in the form of results or desired outcomes lead to repeat behavior like repeat purchase or repeat positive word of mouth. Both positive and negative reinforcement can be used to encourage the desired behavior. The timing of repetition influences how long the learned material is retained. Learning usually persists longer with distributed reinforcement schedule, while mass repetitions produce more initial learning. Observational conditioning or Vishrayat learning. Cognitive learning theory. Cognitive learning theory holds that the kind of learning most characteristics of human is problem solving. Cognitive theorists are concerned with how information is processed by the human mind, how it is stored, retained and retrieved. Involvement theory proposes that people engage in limited information processing in situations of low relevance to them, and people engage in extensive information processing in situations of high relevance. TV is a low involvement medium for learning, and print and interactive media encourage more cognitive information processing. Measures of consumer learning include recall and recognition tests, cognitive responses to advertising, and attitudinal and behavioral measures of brand loyalty. Brand loyalty consists of both attitudes and actual behaviors toward a brand, and both must be measured. Elements of consumer learning. Motivation is the driving force of all important things to be learned. Motives allow individuals to increase their readiness to respond to learning. It also helps in activating the energy to do so. For example, showing advertisements for summer products just before summer season or for winter clothes before winters. Cues are not strong as motives, but their influence in which the consumer responds to these motives. For example, in a market, the styling, packaging, the store display, prices all serve as cues to help consumers to decide on a particular product, but this can happen only if the consumer has the motive to buy. Response signifies how a consumer reacts to the motives or even cues. The response can be shown or hidden, but in either of the cases, learning takes place. Often marketers may not succeed in stimulating a purchase, but the learning takes place over a period of time, and then they may succeed in forming a particular image of the brand or product in the consumer's mind. Reinforcement is very important as it increases the probability of a particular response in the future driven by motives and cues. Factors that influence consumers' buying behavior. Situational factors. Have you ever been in a department store and couldn't find your way out? No, you aren't necessarily directionally challenged. Marketing professionals take physical factors such as a store's design and layout into account when they are designing their facilities. Presumably, the longer you wander around a facility, the more you will spend. Grocery stores frequently place bread and milk products on the opposite ends of the stores because people often need both types of products. To buy both, they have to walk around an entire store, which of course is loaded with other items and they might see and purchase. Physical factors that firms can control, such as the layout of a store, music played at stores, the lighting, temperature, and even the smells you experience are called atmospherics. Not all physical factors are under a company's control, however. Take weather for example. Rainy weather can be a boon to some companies like umbrella makers such as totes, but a problem for others. Beach resorts, outdoor concert venues, and golf courses suffer when it is raining heavily. Crowding is another situational factor. Have you ever left a store and not purchased anything because it was just too crowded? Studies have shown that to a certain extent, crowding can have a positive impact on a person's buying experience. The phenomenon is often referred to as herd behavior. Social situation. The social situation significantly affects purchase behavior. Perhaps you have seen Girl Scouts selling cookies outside grocery stores and other retail establishments and purchased nothing from them. But what if your neighbor's daughter is selling the cookies? Are you going to turn her down or be a friendly neighbor and buy a box or two? As humans, it is natural to feel that if we make poor choices, others will think less of us. Similarly, if we make good choices, we may earn others' respect and even their envy. No matter how little we say or even feel, we care about what others think of our style of dress, our taste in music, or our many other purchase choices. Few, if any, of us are untouched by the influences of those around us. A reference group is the group whose perspective an individual takes on informing values, beliefs, attitudes, opinions, and overt behaviors. One considers this group as a point of reference when evaluating how they view their own existence in the world. Reference groups can be very small, just a few close friends, or fairly large, a sports team, fan club, or even a political party. Social norms and conformity. A social norm is any rule of behavior for meeting societal expectations. All members of a group must adhere to the normative system established for that group. To enforce normative systems, groups tend to exert conformity pressures, either direct or indirect, on their members. Such pressures are actions taken to encourage or force members to act, think, and or express themselves in certain ways. Social psychologists have empirically proved the existence of conformity pressure. Those who fill group leadership roles also are more prone to conform as a way of reinforcing group standards. In general, the more important a group is in our lives, the greater our desire is to accept and conform to its norms. Information process model. Shannon's model of the communication process. Shannon's 1948 model of the communication process is in important ways the beginning of the modern field. It provided for the first time a general model of the communication process that could be treated as the common ground of such diverse disciplines as journalism, rhetoric, linguistics, and speech and hearing sciences. Gatekeeper model or two-step flow, that's Katz 1957. This model is frequently depicted in introductory text in mass communication, focuses on the important role that intermediaries often play in the communication process. Many of these intermediaries have the ability to decide what messages others see, the context in which they are seen, and when they see them. An intermediary model, an interactive model. The bidirectionality of communication is commonly addressed in interpersonal communication text with two elaborations of Shannon's model, which is often labeled as the action model of communication. The interactive model and the transactive model. The key concept associated with this elaboration is that destinations provide feedback on the messages they receive. An interactive model. This model acknowledges neither creators nor consumers of messages, preferring to label the people associated with the model as communicators who both create and consume messages. The model presumes additional symmetries as well, with each participant creating messages that are received by the other communicator. A transactional model, ecological model of communication. Ecological model of the communication process. Groups' impact on communication diffusion adoption process. Innovation diffusion. The concept of innovation diffusion draws upon the diffusion concept from physics and chemistry, where the notion is that liquids move through porous materials at a defined rate based on the porosity of the material, that is, liquids move more quickly through paper than rock. Innovation diffusion then spreads innovations through a market, with some consumers being more receptive to the innovation, that is the innovators, than others. Diffusion forms the familiar bell-shaped curve as adoption sequentially spreads through a marketplace. Inherently missing from the concept of diffusion of innovations, however, is the notion that some consumers resist innovations and will never adopt non-adopters. Diffusion is the macro process of products moving through a market, while adoption is the micro process of individual acceptance of a new product. Adoption. Adoption is a personal state of mind, being innovative, but it's also a function of your connectedness to other people. In the age of social media, opportunities to observe adoption abound in the pictures and videos friends share, their recommendations, even the social check-ins and other types of shares. Match communication style to where consumers are in this process. As diffusion progresses, recognize different groups of consumers as follows: awareness, interest, evaluation, trial, adoption. Let us quickly summarize what we have learned today. We have learned that marketing communication uses different marketing channels and tools. A marketing communication tool can be anything from advertising, personal selling, direct marketing, sponsorship, communication, promotion, and public relations. Marketing communication are made up of marketing mix, which is made up of the 4 P's: price, promotion, place, and product for a business selling goods, and made up of the 7 P's: price, promotion, place, product, people, physical evidence, and process for a service-based business. The script will enable the students in gaining information on consumer learning process by which individuals acquire the purchase and consumption knowledge and experience they apply to future related behavior. While studying marketing mix and its culture and subculture, the major behavioral learning theory students should go through is classical conditioning, instrumental, observational conditioning or vicarious learning and cognitive learning theory. Information process model plays a very important role in conveying and convincing the required information of product and services. Information model includes Shannon's model of the communication process, gatekeeper model or two-step flow, transactional model of communication, ecological model of communication. Innovation, diffusion spreads innovations through a market with some consumers being more receptive to the innovation, that is the innovators, than others. Inherently missing from the concept of diffusion of innovations, however, is the notion that some consumers resist innovations and will never adopt non-adopters. Diffusion is the macro process of products moving through a market, while adoption is the micro process of individual acceptance of a new product. The concept of adoption is a personal state of mind, being innovative, but it's also a function of connectedness to other people. In the age of social media, opportunities to observe adoption abound in the pictures and videos friends share, their recommendations, social check-ins and other types of shares. That is all for today. We'll see you again with another topic on marketing communication. Till then, take care. Bye.